Hello, hello. Welcome on into another episode of the Whiskey Crusaders. I'm Will.
Not bad.
On today's episode, we're talking once again about Basil Hayden. This is the toast. Don't you forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Click that notification bell. Matt, tell me more about toast.
All right, so the craze started, with the whole toasted barrel thing. This is pretty much the one that kind of started that whole thing. So this is Basil Hayden Toast. It came out in 2021. The craze for these are like $50. That's the MSRP on these things. They are 40% because it's Basil Hayden. I know they all freaking are. Now, so this is the new type of box. So this is what launched their new, should get the new girthy belt on here with the fiery flame. But, the old one had that weird paper on, a little tiny belt on there. So, so this replaces when they decided to redo their whole lineup with the new market, new different cork and all that stuff. So this is what made it happen. So whatever. All right, like I said, that's the rebrand. Now, the interesting about this one is it uses brown rice in it rather than rye. Now they've used brown rice before, so this is a new mash bill per se that we don't know. We think it's different because those they undisclosed the pirates, that they do disclose this mash bill. So this one is 63 corn, 27 brown rice, and 10% malted barley. Now we've found brown rice back in some of the Little Book series. Some of the Jim Beam Craft series have used it, and there's a couple. And I know last year's, I think, Little Book used it as well. So it's been used a couple times in Little Book. So they've used it a few times. So like I said, the reason they use brown rice is it's a sweeter thing than rye, of course, less spicy. But then the weird thing is, then they take it. So it starts its life in a charred number 4 barrel for however many years, it's undisclosed age statement. Then a portion of it goes into these toasted barrels. Now, how the hell much? Who knows? It's a portion. So for 2 months, it goes in the toasted barrel, and then it's added back to the whiskeys that were all from the char forest and bottled. So you get a little bit over here, so the portion, and then where was originally in those char forest, and then put it together and bottle it. So it's like, sure. So toasted barrels, what they do is, since they're not burnt, with the heavy char of regular and bringing all the different things out of a barrel, all it basically does is it does have less color, so it's not, as you can see, it's not quite as dark as some of the other Basil Haydens. What it ends up doing is more spice, more vanilla as compared to a regular one. So at least a little rougher, spicier thing than when you really char it out and bring out those other caramel flavors you usually get from a new charred barrel. So let's see what we think of this with this rice rather than rye and toast, the portion of it.
I would really like to know if they made a beer using the rice or if they just made a whiskey using the rice and then blended it with the corn whiskey later. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know if the mash bill was made before the beer was made or if the mash bill was created after the fact.
Good question. And I'm sure they'll never tell us.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll never actually get to know the answer to that, but it would just be
nice. It would be interesting, yeah. And it's interesting you mentioned the word beer, because that does have a weird beery nose. It really does.
Kind of yeasty, beery.
It really does. Some caramel, butterscotch, toffee. You can definitely smell brown rice.
It smells like it's carbonated in here.
It really does. That's weird.
I don't understand. Is it like CO2 vapors that I'm getting? Is it something that's coming off of here that's like presenting itself as CO2? It's so odd.
I think they hired Uncle Ben to help him make this. Who knows? It does. It reminds me like you're cooking brown rice on the skillet.
Yeah, it does kind of have that boiled brown rice.
It does. Which would go back to the whole thing like you said about the beer. Yeah, vanilla, honey, little strawberry rhubarb, some raspberry, toasted cereal, dinner rolls. Interesting. It also almost has like a Rice Krispie, almost like a recipe treat thing, almost a little marshmallow there to it. That's interesting.
See, when I'm picking up more of the corn sweetness, I'm picking up almost into like a corn syrup level of sweetness in this.
Yeah, one. It is very sweet smelling for sure.
For my nose, for my palate, toasted oak typically brings out more sweetness in bourbons anyway.
Agreed.
So when you don't have the rye to kind of spice things up, this smells very sweet to my palate.
Which is funny because Basil Hayden, the whole point of Basil Hayden, it's the high rye mash bill, which makes this funny.
Yeah, I mean, typically that's what we're used to hearing about.
Yeah, so all right, let's see how it tastes. Okay. Toffee, some burnt caramel. Not really what I was expecting, but yeah, that same beery thing's definitely going on. Sugar, vanilla, honey, burnt pie crust, strawberry rhubarb again, green apple, barrel char, some wood incense. I guess the toasted oak is giving you that incense note.
Definite incense.
What was
Much more char than I was
Yeah,
expecting.
I was expecting so once again the portion thing, I think, because you're using char full, which is a heavy char to begin with, right before alligator char. So there's a lot of char in this for toasting it.
Yeah, and
Not
I'm
the
getting
beer.
much more of the char aspects of a barrel than I am of the red layer of a barrel, which is what I'm expecting when I'm hearing a toasted barrel.
Right, exactly.
Is more of the play with that red layer, and the red layer typically gives you all of the sweetness, all of the tannins, all of the vanillas, all of the caramels. So it's odd that I'm getting all of the char level.
All of it. That's interesting and weird.
This is more charry than subtle smoke was.
Totally agree. Yeah, this is more interesting than subtle smoke too. Now, do I think this is worth $50? Not really. Don't think it's bad. No. It's fine, but it is Basil Hayden. I think I still like 10-year Basil Hayden the best and regular Basil Hayden better. But hey, there's kind of become an experimental line essentially at this point. So I know we've got the malted rye. We'll do that one soon for you guys too. I know it was the newer one. We'll do that one soon too.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with Basil and their 40%.
Yeah, I get it, to get people in at the same time for the price point.
And it got my wife into whiskey. My wife is a whiskey sommelier at this point, and it's because Basil Hayden was one of those ones that she picked up and was like, "Hey, okay, this smells like what all the other ones should smell like." I was drinking a lot of bottom shelf at the time, so you got to give her that. But the 40 is just so thin.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 40 we did in the two previous scotches was thicker than this.
I do too.
I think that was a lot. I also think I like both of them better too. So
I do too. The price point was better.
Price point's a lot better. I mean,
I could pick up 2 175s of those scotches for the price of this.
Yeah, and
I could get a 175 of each of them for
and
the
have
price
money
of this
left over.
$7.50 bottle.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
It's not computing in my head.
No, and this is the whole Basil Hayden line. I think except for the basic ones, all basically 50 at this point, except for the regular one. I think still maybe like 45, but still, it's just the price point's not my favorite. It never has been on Basil Hayden. It's not a bad whiskey. No. It's just not for the money what I'd want for the money. So
I just don't think Basil Hayden is as premium as their price point dictates.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think they think they're more premium than they are. I think they should have left that higher price point to the bakers and the bookers.
Yep, agree. Which I definitely agree. I like both of those much better. But hey, we still have several Hayden to go. We'll review them for you because I know people like to see them. So we'll do it.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Click that notification bell. We go live every Monday night, deep diving into a whiskey topic. Join the Patreon page, get access to some behind the scenes fun, and help us out financially. Until next time, keep on crusading for the whiskey in your glass. Cheers.